default fault, whatever Apigee has the default message and all those stuff, Apigee will provide that. Okay, so Apigee send that. So will be Apigee whatever its own fault structure, Apigee has its own fault structure, whatever that will be sent to consumer. Okay.
Okay.
Now, so in the fault rules, Apigee in Apigee we can have multiple fault rule. Usually in fault rule we will have condition. Okay, so in the condition, so if the fault comes, Apigee will check for certain condition. Okay, if on and whichever condition matches, Apigee will execute that fault rule. Now in the condition, Apigee when the fault occurs, right? When the fault occurs, in Apigee there is a variable called fault dot name. That variable will be automatically set. Okay, so in is any kind of error comes, some fault dot name will be automatically set, and what we can do is we can put that fault dot name in conditions. So for example, if fault dot name source unavailable, fault dot name failed to resolve API key, or invalid access token, or whatever, right? So there is some predefined values for different kind of errors. Okay, so we can put it there, and Apigee will then execute the fault rule one by one. Now in Apigee, remember that in Apigee, everywhere when you have Apigee logic, route rule, flow, whatever, it is executed top to down. Okay, from top to down it will execute. But fault rule is the only section, and that too in the proxy endpoint. Remember, in the proxy endpoint, if we have fault rule will be executed from bottom to up. So whichever fault rule is in the bottom, it will be executed first, and other will be top. So that is the only section in Apigee that is executed from bottom to up. That is for, I don't know why it is this thing, but it is the only section. In the target endpoint, if you have fault rule, that will be top to down only. Okay, in the target endpoint, if you have fault rule, that is top to down. But in proxy endpoint, if you have multiple fault rule, it will from bottom to up.
1 minute, 1 minute. Target endpoint means that is the SOR point, right? And what does
The target endpoint, right? Then the proxy endpoint target endpoint section we have, right?
I'm just trying to recollect target endpoint and proxy endpoint. What's the difference? I'm just
No, proxy endpoint is where you define the Apigee specific thing, right? Your proxy base path and all those stuff, right? And target is you have backend target and all those stuff, right? You have two sections in the Apigee, as you can see, two sections. This is a proxy endpoint, right? And this is the target endpoint, pre-flow and everything, right?
Got. Yeah,
So
remembered.
so you can
Yes,
put a
yes.
fault rule here also in this section also, and in the target endpoint section also, where we have target connection, all those things are different. Okay, so that's why. Okay, so that's why. So in target endpoint, if you have fault rules, multiple fault rule with condition, it will top to down, but in proxy endpoint, it will be bottom to up.
Bottom to up. Okay.
Bottom to up. Okay, in the fault rule section.
Okay.
So that's what. Okay, so this thing. Okay, so here, so when you are defining the conditions, first make sure those conditions are not overlapping, right? Those are exclusive. So condition 1 and condition 2, and if there is a condition which overlap, or this condition have where can be true for multiple scenarios, so make sure more restrictive conditions or more specific conditions in the bottom, and more open kind of conditions is in the top, right there. Okay, so that if you want to throw this kind of error in get of this, then all this, okay, like this. Okay, now so this thing, now in Apigee there is a section called default fault rule. Okay, so the default fault rule, in the default fault rule is a section. Okay, so if if by default none of the fault rules are executing, okay, if none of the fault rule match, okay, then if you can define default fault rule. So default fault rule is executed when none of the fault rules are matching. Okay, like this. Now in default fault rule there is a field, or there is a flag called always enforce. Okay, so you can set this as a true. So if you set always enforce as true, then what happens is, even if one of the fault rules are executed, after that fault rule, Apigee will execute the default fault rule section. Okay, that can happen. So what usually we do is, as a best practice, as a or a standard, what you do is, in the fault rule you will define in the fault rule, what you do, the last fault rule, right? The last fault rule which is in the top, right? Because the bottom to up, the fault rule which is in the top, that fault rule will not have any condition. So that is like a catch-all. So if none of the fault rule are matching, you will set some whatever 500 status message with internal server error, whatever, right? So that you can define. After that, if you want to prepare error log, right, for logging purpose, you want to set some log error, whatever logging, right, error logging. Or if you want to set any error header, right, some header for the error logging. Or if you want to put any custom data in analytics, some error data, if you want to put some custom data in analytics, right, error id, whatever, something in analytics, those kind of common error policies, you can put it in the default fault rule. So that error message will be set in some other fault rule. Okay, it can be that specific one, or the last one where there is no condition, so it is last one, so generic error message. And then any other, sometimes you have to set some header or some kind of analytics or some logging payload preparation, whatever, right? So that thing you can do it in the default fault rule session. Okay, so that you can do.
Hmm.
So that's what usually we do. Okay, and we set always enforces too. So this is the standard practice. Okay,
Hmm.
now so we checked about fault rules, what are the fault rules, uh, how are they executed, everything. Now the next question, how are they initiated, right? How a fault rule it gets initiated, right? So when a policy fails, okay, so in every policy there is a field called continue on error. By default this is always false. So every policy there is a attribute called continue on error. Okay, by default it is always false. Okay, every policy it is there. So when the policy fails and this always continue on error is false, okay, then obviously APG will go to fault rule. APG will initiate a fault. Second is like in the JavaScript code also, the custom JavaScript code, okay, right? A
Hmm.
custom JavaScript, any error comes, any, for example, you are JSON.parse, right? You are doing JSON.parse, that is not a proper JSON or something, right? Or some any kind of unhandled exception on JavaScript code or Java
Hmm.
code, whatever, right? In the
Okay.
custom code, if any unhandled exception comes, that also, okay. And so that is there. So those kind of scenarios. So policy fail, basically any kind of policy failure. First, policy fail. Second is in the target when you get a non-success response code. So in the target is giving you 4xx or 5xx. Okay, because 1xx anyway doesn't go, 2xx and 3xx are treated as a success scenario. Okay, in by APG by
Okay.
default 200 to 300. Okay, 200s and 300s are in success scenario. So 400s or 500 comes in the um, this thing. Sorry. Now so 200 300 by default is success. Now if you on certain condition, if you want to treat say for some one of the 4 axis or 5 axis also in the success, for example you want to treat 401 as a success, or say
Hmm.
404 as success, 403 as success, whatever you want to treat them as a success. Okay, then you can define this in the property called success code. In that case, if even if that status code comes from backend, APG uh, APG will uh, what you say, APG will this thing not go to uh, fault rule section. Okay, APG will execute the normal response policies. Okay, APG will execute the normal response policy and not to go to the fault rule section. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then there is another way, which is the race fault policy. So race fault policy you can use here, and usually sorry, give me 1 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this arrays for policy usually is used to manually throw error. If you want to throw error, okay, on certain condition. So in this condition, so here in the example, as you can see, if query param dot let is not equal to null, query param dot long not equal to whatever, right? So in this query param are null something, okay. If these query parameters are null or something, then you can manually throw error. So you can use a raise fault policy, okay. So now
Okay.
raise fault policy is the policy, as I said, you can manually throw error. Now in the raise fault policy, there is one special thing is that in the raise fault policy itself, okay, you can set the error payload. the fault response section. There is a fault response section. You can set the error payload, you can set the headers or status code, whatever you can set in the race fault policy itself. Okay, so usually uh, for the race fault policy, if you are using a race fault policy, we don't write a fault rule for that, because in the race fault policy itself you can set the error payload and error content and header whatever, right? So that's why Apigee code will still go to fault rule. So Apigee code will go to fault rule. However, we do not provide any fault handling section for this race fault, because the race fault is automatically setting the same thing that you want in the fault rule, correct? You don't need to use any separate assign message or other thing. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's why you don't use it. So raise fault policy is the third way to handle this thing. Now, usually what we do in Apigee, we right now in our API, right? In API, after the base path, right? After the base path, if someone gives another any wrong path, even if anyone gives a wrong path, okay, then what happens in Apigee? We will not stop it. So we have defined the flows, right? We have get categories and everything. All the flows are
Huh.
there. Right? But the thing is that if someone gives a wrong path after the base path, so after your retail V1, whatever, someone gives you a wrong thing, Apigee by default will not block it. Apigee by default will
Okay.
still allow it to go it to backend. Now, if the backend has handled, backend provides you a 404 error, right? Backend
Huh.
provides you 404, then you will forward to consumer. However, we don't want to do that. We don't want any consumer if that flow is not defined, right? If the flow is
Hmm.
not defined by us, then we don't want the control to go to the backend, right? Because that will
Hmm.
not the best way, right? It can be
Hmm.
problem, right?
Hmm.
Because backend, sorry, so backend can be exposed, or someone trying to hack any endpoint which is not meant for that consumption, right? Something like that, right? So that's
Hmm.
why what we do is, at the end of all the condition flows, at the end of once all the conditional flows are added, right, at the bottom of that we add another flow which will not have any condition. So all the flow have a condition, correct? The path suffix, this verb is this, like, some all the
Hmm.
flows will have a
Hmm.
condition. But then last flow, we'll add one last flow. In that flow we do not put any condition, because that is like if none of them are matching, in that last flow we just simply add a raise fault policy. That raise fault policy will throw a 404 status code, right? 404 not found, okay, like this. Okay,
Hmm.
so that we will know this. If none of them are matching, then we throw 404 resource not found. So client will so we are protecting our backend. So if it is not exposed by Apigee, we will not let it go, right? So that's why. Okay, so that is like a 404 pattern. So like last flow we have 404, it will not have any condition, because if none of them are matching anyways, that is the bottom, it will execute in the last. So if none of them are matching, it will give 404. Okay,
Yeah.
so in that lab we will do all
Hmm.
three kind of, we will do error
Okay.
writing, we'll do validate input, and then we'll also do 404, all kind of things we will do in this lab. Okay, so lab
Okay.
number 2 will do all these things. Okay, so
Okay.
anyways, first let's do lab number 9, right? Yeah, let me close all this. So let's do lab number 9 first.
1 minute. Let me log in.
Mhm. You can also log into Apigee and open
Yeah.
your lab number 9.
Lab 9 shared flows. Okay. Okay. Done. Open. So you said first shared flows. What we'll do is we will take the KVM policy and apply it to. Uh, ok- so for shared flow, how do we first create a shared flow?
Correct. So we will see that. So first we will get a
We'll
share
see that.
flow.
Okay.
So here for share flow, whatever two policies we added, right? We had one
Hmm.
policy to read from KVM, other policy was to
Hmm.
set the basic auth, correct? Those two policies we did.
Yes.
So
Yes.
now go to on the left side in the develop, there is a share flows. Okay. So go to develop share flows.
Yes.
Let me delete these share flows. So here now as you can see, there is no trace and all those stuff, right? There is no all those trace and all, because obviously you cannot
Yeah.
call it, because you cannot call it, there is no trace here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now go to develop here. In develop, you can see there is not much section, right? Because it is only set of policies, right? So you just add set of policy one after other. So here you just add first policy. So if you remember, our key value map will be section number 3, section 3 mediation. It is the last policy of section number 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Key value map, click on that and replace the display name.
Okay. Done.
Okay, so that replace the display name. So after that, again we have to replace this kvm, because obviously this is having a lot of data which we don't want, and all the initial entries put whatever we don't put. We only need to get operation. One was backend id and password, correct? We had the backend id and the password. So here copy, let me copy this xml, key value operation xml. So
Okay. Save. Should I save it?
not now, we have to just make in the line number 1. If you scroll right, line number 1,
Uh-huh.
in the map
Uh-huh.
identifier, you see map identifier, right?
Yes.
So in the map identifier, just add you have to add your training ID, that because with kvm names we added our, when we get key value maps, we added our training ID. So you have to add your
Are you ready to
training
take your
ID in the
career
map
to the
identifier.
next level with
Okay.
artificial intelligence? GoLogica
So let me
AI
know,
Masters
Vishal.
program is
Yeah,
designed
done.
just for you. This complete program covers everything from fundamental
Now save.
concepts to advanced AI techniques,
Just
master
so we
machine
have to add the
learning,
second policy
deep
also.
learning,
If you want
natural
to save,
language
you can save it in
processing,
between.
and more.
Just save it.
Gain hands-on experience with industry-relevant projects and real-world use cases. With guidance from expert
Save as new
mentors
revision
and a
only, no?
well-structured curriculum, you'll acquire the skills and confidence
Sorry?
to excel in the AI field.
It's coming.
no,
Save
Whether you're
as new
starting
revision.
fresh or looking to
No, it is, you
upskill,
can just
this
save it.
program is your
Because first we
gateway
are
to
not doing
becoming an
anything. You
AI
just
expert.
only map identifier you added, correct? Map identifier.
Yeah.
Just save that, only the save button will be there. Just save.
Yeah, once I click on save, it is coming. You have deleted or renamed an item. This change and all other changes to the current revision will be saved as a new revision.
Did you add the correct place? What? Can you share your screen, please?
Okay, able to see my screen?
Yeah, I can see. KVM.
Okay.
Get no. I think.
Are you looking to
you did
become a
not
data
add this
expert?
policy.
Enhance the power of
KVM,
data with the
go to
GoLogica Data
default, click
Engineering
on the,
Master
there is
Program.
a tab. There is a
The
small
Data
tab on the left
Engineering
side.
Master
Can you click on the
Program
small
is a
tab?
complete
On the
course
XML.
designed
On the
to
XML,
equip you with
on the XML,
skills
there is a
in
small
data
tab.
modeling, ETL processes.
Click on that. Click on this tab, second tab. I think
Policy.
you. That's why you did not click on the left side. Click on default. On the right side there is a default, shared flows default on the
Yeah,
left panel,
Acha,
right?
left. Okay.
KVM get credential. It is get credentials or get credentials. It was S. I think you did not copy correctly. Did you copy from this thing?
Yeah, I copied from the chat only.
No, I think you did not copy correctly. You can see I have credentials and you only had credential.
KVM get credentials.
Yeah, here you
Okay.
can see the name. You can see the name is line number 4. Name is get credential, not get credentials.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. So just update that policy name to credentials. That is fine. Click on save now. Anyways, click on save.
Save as new revision.
Okay, save as new revision anyways, because you have read it, doesn't really matter. Now revision 2.
Okay.
Okay, so that is fine. All right. So this is okay now. Okay, that is fine. That is fine.
Default only. Yep.
Yeah. So that is plus tab button is visible to you, right?
Yeah. It's visible.
Okay. Then here click on plus step. And basic authentication is the first policy in security, right? So click on that basic authentication and replace the display name here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And then click on add.
Okay.
So here this policy also.
Yes, in this policy. What to remove?
And then here this policy also XML, we have to replace the XML, right? Because we have to use our variables that we use. So this is the XML. So basic authentication. Let me copy.
Done.
Done, right?
Dream of building AI
Then click on save.
like ChatGPT? Your future in generative AI starts here. AI across every industry, from cutting-edge startups to major players.
Then do the deployment, deploy on dev. Click on deployment, deploy on dev.
Okay, done.
Then verified, right? Yeah, it is verified. Now let's go to the proxy. We will add the proxy. And yeah, click on your proxy. Now here, as we do, first save as a new revision.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. So then here, click on develop here. Okay. And then we have to click on the patch, collect the patch. We had the policy update product by ID. You see this patch one. Click on the patch one.
Okay, patch update product by ID. Okay.
Correct. You see there's two policies. When you click on patch, those two policies should be there, right? Last time we did.
Yes.
So one by one we will detach. So click on this red color plus sign. One by one, detach both of them one by one. Okay.
Done.
And then let me give you the name of the. We will add the flow callout policy, right? So we'll add the flow callout policy. So let me give you the name. FC backend credentials. That is the name of the policy. Flow callout policy name. Okay. So this is the name of the policy. Okay. Go to last. In the bottom you see flow callout policy. Right? Yeah. So click on that first. Click on the flow callout. First replace the display name. And then there is a shared flow drop down. In the drop down you will find your policy, right? In the drop down, sorry, your shared flow will be there. So select your shared flow from the drop down. Okay. Okay. So and then click on add. And then
save.
Yeah, and then deploy on deploy this.
Okay. Was deployed.
So it is deployed, right? This one.
Yeah.
So now let's do the trace here and start the trace. And then yeah, start the trace.
Hmm.
And then this thing after that let's on that postman open the patch one. You will have the patch call in that previous one of the tabs here, right? Like this. It will be there in the tabs. Okay, patch call.
The URL would be like a
The patch
patch.
call is there, right? You open the patch.
Yeah. Patch. Yeah.
Now click on body here. Open the patch call. Click on body.
Uh,
In the body, just change the value, right? 9 point something. So I'm 9.6 is there.
9.5 is there. I'll just move it to
Yeah,
9.6.
yeah, anything.
Okay.
And then yeah, click on send button. Click on send. So now you can see 200 okay with that is updated. Okay.
Yeah.
So the same thing, right? So now it is successful. Now in the trace, if you see in the trace, if you see here, go back to trace here,
Yeah. Got 200.
and you can see
Patch.
here this policy. This in the trace
Yeah.
you see this
Green
policy,
color.
right? First you
Yes.
blue color one FC policy, and then other two policies are, you can see other two policies are in a box, right? There is a small container kind of thing, right? These two policies are surrounded by a gray color, small gray color one.
Hmm.
So means
Hmm.
these are the part of this share flow. So these two policies are part of the share flow. So it is a small gray color.
Understood. Okay.
So that's how this will work. Okay.
Okay.
So that completes our lab number 9.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay, so that is number 9, and then next is the number 10 one. So let's
Fault
open this second lab, number 10, fault handling.
fault handling.
Yeah. So yeah, this is about the exception handling, right? So fault handling and all. In the fault handling, what we will do is we will first add the policy for this thing. So first thing we are going to handle. So if you remember, we had done one lab of JSON thread protection. Okay.
Yes.
So what we so in that threat protection lab, what we had was when that lab when that call was failing, it was giving Apigee default error, correct? It was from 500 with Apigee default, but when we are throwing error should be this thing. Error should be what you say, more meaningful, and it should not have any kind of Apg message, so should not be this policy failed or that policy, that kind of thing, right? With the what so because we should never provide any kind of platform dependent information, right? And a platform specific information also, we should never provide this. Okay.
Okay.
So that's why we should not provide all these. So this thing so here so and one more thing here. So for the other normal policy, you have a pre-flow, another thing, right? For fault handling, when you have to attach the policy, right, that is not through the plus step button. Okay, for others you can add in the plus step button, but for this scenario you have to manually add in the XML of the proxy endpoint or target endpoint. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, so let's.
So we are basically attaching this in the code of Apigee, huh?
Code of Apigee code in the XML code. So we need to add manipulate the XML. So click on develop here, and then when you go to develop, anyways pre-flow is selected, correct? So just make sure you select pre-flow. So you see the full policy endpoint, correct? This proxy endpoint XML, correct?
No, just a minute. We open our proxy, right?
Correct.
First. Okay, we open our proxy, then we go
first
to
thing
develop.
One more thing, just go to project and save as new revision first. So revision number 10, just to be sure, because this is now 10th lab, right? So revision number 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, when you go to develop, you can see pre-flow is selected by default, correct? Pre-flow is selected, and you see the right side XML is there. Proxy endpoint tag number, line number 2, you see proxy endpoint tag, correct? And then after 3. So what we'll do is after line number 2, okay, after line number 2, what we have to do is after line number 2, copy paste this fault rule section. So this fault rule section, we will add it. Okay, so after line number 2, press enter, go to start of this, press enter, go to start of start of line number 3, and then paste it, so that the spaces and all will be properly. Okay, so like this. So let me know once you paste it.
Done.
Okay, so here right now what I have done, I have added a parts. You can see I have added a fault rule for this condition. JSON JTP protect dot field equal to true, right? So JTP protect policy, right? So this is the, on the left side, if I show you, this is the policy, correct? So when this policy failed, this variable will be automatically set JSON attack dot, okay, in JSON thread, okay. So then I have added a condition, but I have to attach a policy, assign message policy. That assign message policy should throw a more meaningful message, right? So that only this thing, and not the APG default fault error, okay. And it should provide a proper like 400 something, right? Right now 500 was coming, right? So we should give a meaningful 400 message and all those, okay. So then we will go and we will attach the policy. So we have to attach the policy for assign message first. We have to create a policy, okay. So because here also we cannot do a plus step button, right? We don't have a plus step button, so we will attach policy in a different way. So let me ping you the policy name AM400 something, okay, AM400 distance thread, right? So this is assignment policy. So go here, okay. Now in the left side you see policies here, correct? In the left side policies,
Yes.
in the policy there is a plus button. You see there is a plus button in the policies, right? On the right side there is a plus button.
Yes.
So that way you can add a new policy from here, okay, and that new policy will be without any attachment. So that policy will be there, but attachment will not be there, okay. So you can add as policy here. So what you can do is you do a plus button here, go to assign message. Now left side, section number 3, assign message will be section number 3. Assign number, you can see assign message, okay. In the section number 3, below the SOAP message validation, you see assign message.
I get it. Assign message.
So click on assign message and replace the name I have already given you.
Yeah, done.
Okay.
And then click on add.
Then click on add here.
Okay.
When you click on add, you can
now
see
I see
assign message tab, right? Where garbage, lot of things are there. We don't need all of them. We just need one error message to set the error payload, right? So I'm giving you this XML. So this will be like, I'm giving you the XML, assign message XML. Just replace that XML. Assign message. So I've given you just control A and then replace this assign message. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you pasted, right? You replaced, right?
Yeah.
So here you can see in the set there is a payload. In the payload I am setting application JSON, and then this JSON payload, you see the error dot message. This is the APG variable. Error is the APG object. This is a predefined variable of APG. It will have some more meaningful message of this one. And I am adding invalid JSON payload as a prefix here, like just a word as a prefix. Okay, and only error tag. I'm not sending any other tag. Only error field is there. Okay, status score 400 bad request, right? So that is more, you know, it is more aligned with the error standards, right? As per this thing. Okay? So this, so yeah, so this is there. This is added. So now we have created this policy, but we have to add this policy in the fault rule, right? That we have to add. So again, on the left side, click on preflow. On the left side, click on preflow. If you click on preflow, you see the XML tag will be coming, right? All the XML tags, correct? So after line number 5, line number 5 is condition tag, right? This condition tag. So now after line number 5, we will add the step, the policy. When you see you can see, right? All the policies, nothing but a step tag. When you have to attach a policy, you have to add a step tag, right? So inside, after the condition tag, after the condition here, you have to add the step tag. So that step tag will be like this. So this is the step tag we have to add, the 4 lines. Let me copy this thing. Let me copy these 4 lines and this one. Okay. So this is so after line number 5, press enter. Okay, and then go to start of this. Go to start. Okay, go to start. Okay, and then after going to start, you paste it. So step tag. Okay, so you can see.
Okay.
So here in that you have one is the fault condition. So this fault will be executed when the fault comes, right? And this is the policy, when this is the policy that is attached. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Its line is name info. Okay. Yeah.
So if this is like inside this fault also, if only if the fault name matches execution failed, then this policy will be applied. Name. Okay. This policy.
Okay.
Okay. So that is there. Okay, so this is all done. Okay, so yeah,
now save it.
So yeah, so once it is done, then you can click on save button and save this. Okay, You can see this is the name of the policy that is same as the policy name we added, right? AM. Now you can see
Correct.
in the AM there is no link. Other policy you can
Yes.
see there is a link which it is not attached, but this is now attached. Right? This is attached.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you save it and then deploy also. Deploy on dev.
Completed.
Okay, so deployment is done now. Okay, dev environment. Now what we have to do is we have to test it. Okay, so this part will test. So you open your Postman and open that. We had the post call, correct? JSON thread protection was there as a post call. You see the post word here. There is a post. Yeah, this is the post orders, right? In the post, you see the post will be there, right? In the post, look for the post ones. You will get the post orders. So open this
Yes.
orders one, post orders.
Yeah.
Do you see this? Okay. Did you open?
You're asking me. Yeah, I opened, but in the body, yeah, I see now. Yeah.
Body
Correct.
will be there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, so here body we have to replace. So let me give it the new body because then we want to throw the error, correct? So let me go there. This is the new body. Okay. So I'm giving you new body, pasting the new body here. Okay. So this new body I sent you. Okay. And then here replace the body with the new one. So this will throw error. So that we wanted to check the error. So that's why. Okay.
Okay. So we now we go to.
And then open the trace. Then once you paste the body, go to
No.
Apigee.
No. 1 minute. This I will
Body.
paste.
Body.
Oh,
Replace the body.
I'll remove the total body.
Yeah. Replace it everything. If you want to remove one now or select all, replace whatever.
Okay.
Replace the whole thing. Yeah, replace the body with this one.
Yeah, done. And also
Then
I have to on the trace, right?
Yeah. Start the trace. Make sure this automatically compare is unchecked. Okay. This is
Develop
unchecked.
trace automatically is unchecked. Start trace session.
Then start trace session. Let it become red.
And then
Now
click.
start. Now you make the calls. Now you Postman. Click on send button. You see
400 bad request, invalid JSON.
the same error is coming. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Invalid JSON payload is coming, no, for me.
Yeah. Wait, I was I think wrong. Okay, let me replace the body. This thing. Anyway, so yeah, let me click on this one. So you can say invalid JSON payload, and then whatever was there, right? Execution failed this one, right? And then you see 400 bad requests. Previously it was 500. Okay, 400 bad requests. Okay. So that was there. Okay, so this is so that so we saw this is in the trace. Now if you see in the trace, you see this policy failed, right? You see this wrong color icon, right? This failed icon, right? This error icon is there, right? This icon you can see error icon. That this failed, policy failed, JSON attack dot failed true or something. And then here you can see it will go to from here. It will start going to your fault handling, right? It will go to fault handling. It will check for fault rules. And then here this condition, and here you can see you are reading the error dot message, right? Error dot message and all those stuff that you read, and then you overwrite whatever. Say create the error payload, and you can see this error payload is here. Okay, that is sent to client. So this is a response sent to client. Okay, okay. So that's what it is done. So that's so that is only one kind of error handling. We have to check other scenarios also. That is one scenario. Okay. Now let me show you something here in that post call, right? The same post call. Okay, there is a content is JSON, correct? You can see the JSON, right? Now change it to text. Okay. Now and make the call. Click on send button, and you can see 200 okay, right? Now see, the thing is that because this content type header was not set up correctly, this content type header, it is set up as test, right? And it is not set up correctly. So what happens? Apigee, that policy is skipped. So there are some policies. Those policies of the security are designed to work with the correct content type. So only if the content type is application JSON, then only that policy will apply the validation. Okay. Now here the content type was not application JSON, so that policy was skipped. So what we should do, we have to add another policy. Okay, that will check the condition. So we need to do validation that content type header is set up correctly, correct? Then only our validation will be fulfilled, correct? So that only first you check content type header, that content type is set correctly or not. Only if the content type is set correctly, then you execute the other policies for this thing, that limit check, right? This JSON thread protection. Okay. So now what we'll do is we will add a raise fault policy. Okay. Raise fault policy will add, so that we will throw error. If the content type header is not set up correctly, we have to throw error. Okay. So for that we will add a raise fault policy. Okay. So go here and then click on stop. Okay. Go to develop. Click on the post again. Here your post create order, correct? Click on this create order. Okay. Click on this create order. Okay. You can see the create order will be selected here, and this JTP protect policy should be there, correct? Are you able to see this?
Create order. Yes, I clicked. And then JTP protected. Yeah.
It is visible here, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So now in the same, we will add the second policy. Let me give you, this is the raise fault policy. Raise fault policy will be to throw error if the content type header is not set up correctly. Okay. So if content type header is not set, you want to throw raise fault, right? Throw error. So this is the name of the policy, RF invalid content type. Okay. So that is, you know that it is a raise fault and it is invalid content type error. Right? So that is the name of the policy. So I have given you the name, okay, in the chat. So do a plus step and go down. Raise fault is the section number 3. Section number 3, third policy. Section number 3, third policy.
Yes, yes.
So click on raise fault. Add this raise fault display name and name. Okay. So anyway, update the display name. Name automatically will be updated. Then click on add button. When you click on add, you can see this is the having a default XML, correct? Some default with 500 or whatever, right? 500 set or whatever, with no payload. There is no payload set and all the stuff. So we have to replace the XML with our error payload. Okay. So what we'll do is we will add this raise fault tag. Okay. So let me give you this XML. So we'll replace it with Control A and replace it. Okay. So here, let me know once you replace it.
Okay, replaced.
So once you replace, you can see here set headers, payload, content type header must be application JSON, right? So that you are setting, right? 400 bad request and all those stuff, right? So that's why you are setting it here, right? So this is you are setting it manually. Okay. So that way, now this ideally this raise fault should be before the JTP protect, correct? Because first you verify the policy thing, right? First you verify content type. Only if content type is valid, then only you will parse the content, correct? And you will apply the limits, right? That limits. So do one thing, bring this forward. So simply bring this forward on the left side. So bring this to the left. Okay. Select and bring it to left. Okay.
Okay.
So let me know once you bring it to the left. So
done.
Now you see the XML of the policy, right? You see the here XML representation, correct? Now in line number 83, there is a step tag, correct? There is a step tag, right?
Yes.
In the step, line number 84, name is invalid content type, right?
Correct.
Now this policy is raise fault policy is not always, should not be always executed here, right? Because it should be executed only the content type header is not correct, right? When the content type header is not application JSON, then only you will execute it, right? That's so you have to put a condition tag here. Okay. So after line number 83, you have to put a condition tag here, because this should be conditional policy, right? So only if that condition matches, you execute the policy, right? So then let's go to condition tag. So I'm only giving you condition tag. I don't need to give everything, because that should be enough. 83, press enter and paste the condition tag. Just after line number 83, enter and paste the condition tag. So inside the step, you have condition and name both tag, right? So inside the step, you see the request header content type is not application JSON, then only you do a raise fault invalid content type. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let me know once you paste it.
Yeah, done.
Now click on save.
Yeah, clicked on save.
Okay. Yeah. Now wait for it to deploy.
Okay.
Verify. For me, it is deployed now. Let me know once it is deployed for you.
Yeah, just 1 minute. So this go to deploy.
What happened? No, it is the revision 10, so you don't have to deploy again because it will be the same revision.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so what I have to do now? Now I have just updated the 84 line. Okay, so no need of save or anything, right?
No, after line number 84, the save button will be enabled, right? Because then only.
No, but that should my save button is not getting enabled.
After a bit.
Share. Okay, you're able to see my screen. 84. I put this now.
Yeah, I can see that screen. 84, you put it, right?
Huh?
Can you little bit scroll down because for me, if I increase the size, it is
Okay.
not
Okay.
seen correctly.
Yeah. Now.
Yeah, 84
Able to see.
request dot this thing and RF. Yeah. Okay, it is all. I think it is already saved, right? It is saved. It seems. Okay.
I
Then
didn't click on it. Okay. But
go
yeah.
to go to trace then
Trace.
and yeah, start the trace now and then make the post call again.
This one orders.
Yeah, the same one. With now type will be make it a text. Type text.
Oh, type text. No. Type text.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now click on send.
Send.
Now you
For
see
a
the error,
header.
right? Error content type.
Content type header must. Yeah. Okay.
Now, so
Got
we
it.
have the correct validation. So that we are now forcing the person to set the correct content type, and then only our other validation will impact. Okay.
Will
I think
take
that is
place.
done.
Okay.
So that part is done now. So now we have to add
Okay.
one more thing here. Okay. Now these the two parts of the labs are done. Now the final part of the lab is add a 404 not found condition, because you can see here, let me show you here in the develop, right? If all of them, if all of them are executing, right? So if none of, if all of them have the condition, right, for this condition all the stuff, but if someone is sending a wrong data, right, something is sending a wrong data, for example, open these orders, make it orders one, the path, change the path, orders one. Okay. And then send the request, then you will get a 403, but it is coming from backend. You can see 404 backend because Apigee is not stopping it, right? Even if after base path, if someone sends the wrong path, it is going to backend, and backend is giving you that error. Okay. 404 in validation. But what we should do is, in order to protect the backend, we should on Apigee layer itself, we should have the default condition, a default flow. Okay, that is in the last. The default flow should throw 404 not found, right, as we saw in the slides. Okay.
Yeah.
So there, but so here we will attach the policy again on the left side. So from the left side, attach the new, first create a policy, not attach. Sorry, this will not attach. It will only create a policy, right? So on the left side, we will add the 404 raise fault 404 not found. So RF policy, raise fault policy. Let me ping you the name. Policies, click on plus button. So this is we are adding in the policies. We are not putting it anywhere right now. Okay, not attaching anywhere. Okay. So this policy we are going to attach in the just in the sorry not attach but creating the policies. In the policy, go down, raise fault. Okay, third policy, mediation, third policy, right? So click on raise fault. Okay, and then third policy in the mediation. So you can put a
Sorry. I was kind of disturbed. My son was crying. Give
okay,
me 1 minute.
yeah, no problem. Let me know once you are back.
No, I'm there here, but I was disturbed, so I
Okay.
mute. He
So
was
here in the
here.
policies, you just click on plus button in the policies. In the policies, we'll get the plus. So we have to
Okay, in
just
the
create this.
policy,
Yeah, we're not going to attach it anywhere.
the policies, I clicked on it.
In the policies, click on plus button, and then
Yes.
go to the section number 3, raise fault.
Okay, Manish, can you give me like 5 minutes? He's
Okay,
not
no problem.
keeping quiet there.
then Apigee will ask me to always select this condition. Okay, I need to select a condition. This is like mandatory to select a condition. Okay, but otherwise Apigee will not allow me. So this is like a bug from UI, because the last flow, as I told, right, this is the last flow. Flow, the default flow should not have any condition, so that if none of them are matching, it will execute the last one. Okay. So this is that. So what we have to do is, so we have to manually add the flow. So we have to manually add the flow from the XML. So click on this delete one. Go to the last flow. Delete order by ID. Click on this delete order by ID. Okay. So delete order by ID, you clicked, right?
Yes.
So after that, in line number 106, you see line number 106.
Yes.
Slash flows, correct? It is slash flows.
Yes.
The end of the flows. So this line number 106, we will replace this with our last flow condition.
Okay.
So this is the XML. So this is the flow XML. You can see flow name equal to 404, and we are adding this 404 not on REST fault policy here, right? So this flow is the default one. So let me ping you this XML. Line number 106. So select line number 106, okay, and then after selecting, replace. Do a Control V, and then it will replace.
Okay.
You will replace with the flow. Okay.
Okay, done.
So and then click on save. Let me know once it is deployed.
Revision 10 saved.
Yeah. And then you can verify this dev is green. Correct?
Yeah, dev is green. Yeah.
Now again, let's go to trace and start the trace.
Okay. Trace, start trace.
And then again hit the same call, that orders one, right? Wrong path. You hit it. Now you will throw. You see this is our error, correct? 404 not found invalid path. Okay. So you can see this is policy failed, right? This is the 404 not found. You can check in the trace, this policy failed. You see this error, right? This error, policy failed, REST fault policy, and it is throwing the error.
What? First, when I click on send, it showed 404 not found, error, invalid request, post retail V1 202 orders 1.
Yeah, that is defined in the message, our message, right?
Okay.
That is the fault. You can see. Let me show you here the XML here. This is the XML. This is the XML code, right? You can see.
Yes.
Proxy.base path, request.verb, right? You can see request verb. That is post, right? After post, base path, and then path suffix, right? This is what. So we are having this as a variable, so it will be defined. Okay. So this thing. Okay. So that's why. So here you will see this error. Okay. So this is the message that will be sent. Okay. So that's why you are sending this. So this is, you can see in the trace, this policy failed. You can see this policy RF404 not on failed, and then this is the error that was sent to client. Okay. Error was sent to client. The same error was sent to client. Okay. So that completes our error handling lab also.
Okay.
So we have seen that all kind of error handling scenarios and all. So this. So tomorrow I might not